Hey, what's going on? John Sonmez here, and today I'm going to be doing a book review. I haven't actually done as many book reviews lately. It's funny, these videos don't seem to be as popular on this channel. They don't get as many views, which is cool. I understand, like, not everyone is here to read books or to talk about books. I may start changing the format once I get involved in this more and talk about, like, the 3 things I learned from this book or whatnot. But for now, I'm just going to talk about the books that I've read, and I'll try to keep these fairly short. So, the book I'm talking about today is... shit. I cannot. My favorite author, one of my favorite authors, basically, and I can never get his name right. So I'm going to make a conscious effort to never say it wrong again, never to just guess at it. So it's Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Skin in the Game is what the book is called. And I listened to the audio version of this book. I was excited for this book to come out because Nassim Nicholas Taleb. All right, Taleb, let's call him Taleb, is probably one of my favorite authors. I think he's my favorite author. Like, if I'm trying to think about like who I'm gonna read if a new book comes out, it's either gonna be him or Stephen Pressfield, right? Like, but probably more Taleb because I'm not as big of a fan of fiction. So, just like as soon as this came out, I had to get this book. I've read The Black Swan. I've read Fooled by Randomness. I've read Anti-Fragile, which is a freaking awesome book. I'm trying to remember what was the other one. But I basically read all of his books. And the thing about his writing is it's very, very thought-provoking and entertaining, right? I love the fact that he basically just is, just like has fuck you money and tells people to fuck off. Like, he hates economists. He calls them out by name. When you hear someone speaking in such a genuine and I could give less than a fuck voice and tonality, you know that what they're saying is true, that they're not bullshitting you. And so the book in general is about a concept. It's sort of like in his book Anti-Fragile, which I think that's probably his best book. Anti-Fragile changed my life. Okay, that one I've done videos on this book, but in Anti-Fragile he talks about this idea of having skin in the game and about how it's like politicians and bureaucrats don't, and how like it's messed up, like society gets messed up when you don't have skin in the game because the natural evolutionary processes don't happen, right? And so because things that are supposed to fail are supposed to have consequences for those that orchestrate the failures, right? The whole financial collapses and all these things. So it's kind of interesting. This book is basically a zoom in of that concept written into an entire book. Now, at first when I started reading this book, I was like, this is great, except that it's just kind of ranty and there's not really any application to life. But as I was thinking about this more, right, and I was getting through the book, there's actually some really good value here. One of the things that, just this idea of, one, try to put people skin in the game, right? If you're in some kind of business deal with someone, if you're, any kind of situation, like I'll give you an example. My now business partner, Josh, before he became the business partner for Simple Programmer, my company, we basically he was a copywriter, right? And so I did a contract with him where he was going to launch my 10 Steps to Learn Anything Quickly program. And when we did this launch, the agreement was I was going to pay him, I think, $5,000 for his launching and copywriting services is what he asked for. And I said, no, I won't pay you $5,000. I'll pay you $5,000 plus 10% of every sale that we make above $5,000, right? So, and he was like, okay, well, yeah, okay, I'll take that, right, obviously. But the reason why I did that was because I wanted him to have skin in the game. Is if I just pay him $5 straight, it doesn't matter that much, right? He doesn't have any skin in the game. He's just going to get his money, whether he does a good job or bad job or whatever. Whereas if I'm paying him a bonus based on how much money we make over $5,000, he's got some serious skin in the game, right? He stood to make a lot more money, and he did make a lot more money as probably I think it was another $4,000 or $5,000 as we did like a $50,000 launch on that product. So it actually influenced a lot on how he worked. Now, he would have had more skin in the game if he got zero, if we had didn't perform at a certain level, but very few people will do something like that. So anyway, the point is that you can learn a lot about this idea of getting people skin in the game, right? And looking at situations where someone doesn't have skin in the game and saying, well, wait a minute, this is where you get screwed. You always get screwed when someone doesn't have skin in the game. at least those are situations where you're most likely to get screwed. And I've been screwed many times by that before. And so now whenever I try to enter some kind of business relationship or any kind of relationship with someone, I want them to have some kind of skin in the game. So anyway, the book is just really entertaining. A lot of different concepts, a lot of situations, so much stuff that I agree with. And, just these ideas that Nicholas, or I'm going to make sure I get it right. See, look at this. By the end of this video, I'll have it. I want to say it's Nassim Nicholas Taleb. I don't know why I can't remember that because it's so weird. But Nassim, he's just has these really thought-provoking ideas, right? And he looks at things from a different perspective. And so I think the book really is one of those books that can help you to look at things from a different perspective. Again, not as valuable, not as groundbreaking as some of his other books. I think Black Swan and I think Anti-Fragile. Like if you could only read one Nassim Nicholas Taleb book, see I got it. I would read Anti-Fragile for sure, but this one is actually really good as well. Like I said, any of his books are just, the way he thinks about them, the way he talks about stuff is so entertaining. I remember like the most, my favorite line from, is it Anti-Fragile? It might be Black Swan, but I think it's Anti-Fragile. He says that a Stoic, he says a Stoic is a Buddhist that says fuck you to fate. I love it. It's just awesome, right? And so he's just in your face, kind of honest type of guy, which you can really appreciate in this world. At least I can. That's all I got for you today. If you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button already. Click the bell, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.